organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up on this Monday edition of Daily Iowan TV, it has been a fiery few days here in Iowa.
And one organization is working to fix a major local and national issue.
It was all women's basketball in Carver this weekend as the men were on their bye week. Find out next how a 2-game winning streak feels for Coach Bluter and her squad.
All the latest local and national news coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Taylor Brooks.
And I'm Katie Reber. It has been a fiery few days across the state of Iowa. At least 3 separate fires were reported in Iowa City, Cedar Rapids, and Des Moines. The most bizarre happened on Sunday evening. Des Moines police arrived on scene to find a man had been set on fire by his girlfriend. The man had serious burn marks all over his body. In Iowa City, firefighters responded to calls early Monday morning about a fire on the 2nd story of an apartment complex. No one was injured, but damages are expected to exceed $10,000. Firefighters in Cedar Rapids also investigated a fire Monday morning that seriously damaged an apartment building. One person did require medical help. All 3 fires are under investigation.
1 of every 200 Americans experience homelessness at some point. It happens in major cities, rural areas, and even in our own Iowa City. Shelter House Iowa City is determined to reduce that statistic and help end homelessness. Daily Iowan TV's Bradley Martin has the story.
Shelter House is the only general use homeless shelter in Johnson County. Shelter House is full most nights of the year. We have a 70-bed facility that typically our beds are full, and we also have an ongoing wait list where people can sign up to get a bed.
But Shelter House is more than just a bed at night for homeless people.
As people stay here, we start plugging them into case management services.
Additionally, this winter, Shelter House turned away not a single individual, no matter how high the occupancy was.
There is an overflow section here at Shelter House, but there's also a winter emergency shelter across the street.
This is one of many dorms in the Shelter House campus. There are over 70 beds here. They're serving a lot of people in the community, trying to knock out the issue of homelessness, one individual at a time.
Reporting from Shelter House, Iowa City, Bradley Martin, Daily Iowan TV.
The ongoing controversy between Apple and the United States government took a personal turn Monday. A Los Angeles lawyer working for several families of San Bernardino victims says they have questions they want answered. The families have voiced their support for breaking into the iPhone of one of the shooters in search of more information about the attack. While some families choose to remain unidentified, one family member said Monday, quote, "We're not talking about an ordinary case here. This is an act of terrorism where 14 Americans lost their lives." Apple CEO Tim Cook said he wants to help the FBI, but the threat of a data breach for millions of people is at stake.
Some of the fighting that's been rocking Syria may have reached a temporary truce. Officials say the United States and Russia have agreed on a cessation of hostilities. They say the planned arrangement is set to begin on Saturday. The ceasefire between the U.S. and Russia will not cover attacks on the Islamic State or nearby Al-Qaeda forces. The news of the potential end to fighting comes just a day after hundreds of civilians were killed in the Damascus by Islamic State bombings. President Barack Obama and Russian President Vladimir Putin are expected to speak by way of phone before a formal announcement is made publicly. Talks between several governments of halting the fighting in Syria have been taking place unsuccessfully for more than a month. Well, this weather this weekend was an absolute tease. I loved it when I walked out of the house this morning. Cold again.
I know. However, at this point, it's just nice to have double-digit positive weather.
Yes, it is. We will send it over to Sydney Zatz in the weather studio to see if those double digits will keep up. Sydney?
While it might seem like the weather is cooling down, it looks like we'll be expecting some warmer weather yet again this weekend. Tuesday morning will be mostly cloudy with a high 33. We'll rise up to 43 in the afternoon. As the evening rolls around, the temp will cool down to 37. Throughout the week, temps will be in the mid to upper 30s, and the evening will see temps in the mid to upper 20s range. This weekend we'll have a high 55 on Sunday, but we'll have some chilly nights this weekend with temps ranging in the low 20s to mid 30s. It looks like things are warming up in Iowa, but for some of our neighboring states, they can't say the same. Wednesday and Thursday, parts of the Midwest will experience a winter storm. The storm will be a mix of wind gusts, rain, and snow, and will leave some areas with estimated snowfalls of about 6 to 12 inches. The storm will mostly target Illinois, Indiana, and South Michigan. That's weather for this week. Enjoy the sunshine.
Sunday evening was a step towards the fight against animal extinction. The Raptor Resource Project, a nonprofit that aims to preserve a wide range of winged animals, added a new member to its team. On Sunday evening, a bald eagle egg was laid in nearby Decorah, making it just the second egg laid this month. Conservationists from all over were able to witness the egg being laid during a live stream broadcasted by the Raptor Resource Project. Viewers were able to see the bird move gently and hear chirping as the egg made its way into the nest.
When looking for an affordable outfit or some used furniture, many look to Goodwill to spare their wallet some pain. But the long-running retail store actually does a lot more for the community than most are aware. Our very own Keaton Fuller has the story.
Used clothes, an old movie, a used couch. These are the types of things most customers are on the hunt for when they enter a Goodwill. But the now over 100-year-old retailer has a clear mission that involves more than just cost-effective goods. I decided to visit their Iowa City location to find out what exactly that is.
We are providing opportunities for people to improve their social and economic well-being, and so we have programs that help people become more integrated in the community.
In order to carry out their mission of bringing social and economic well-being to a community, Goodwill provides a variety of programs that help veterans, help people with disabilities, and even help people find and keep jobs. As if all this isn't enough, Goodwill has a secondary mission centered around the environment. And as part of this effort, they just started the Reboot program. The Reboot program takes old electronics like this old Rock Band set and fixes them up to be sold again. This program helps make Goodwill the largest recycler of e-waste in the U.S.
Every time we give a tour, everybody's like, I had no idea. So Goodwill is much more than a retail store.
So the next time you're picking out an old pair of jeans or a favorite movie, know that you're supporting a lot more than just your personal budget. Keaton Fuller, Daily Iowan TV.
Investors on Wall Street were not breaking out happy dances on Monday after last week's stock market frenzy, which might have been the best week this year. Oil prices are rising again. Monday's stocks show a steady increase in the cost of oil. The price has gone up nearly 20% since February 11th. Even with the cost continuing to spike, they're still down 70% from 2014. Experts say the rise in the cost of oil also brought up expenses for energy and metal. Officials say they do not think oil prices will make a full recovery until 2017.
Someone else that needed a full recovery was that Iowa men's basketball team. A tough loss last week, but a bye week might have been good.
Absolutely, and the ladies inside Carver sure lit it up this weekend. Let's toss it over to Zach Mackey in the sports studio to give us the full rundown.
Thanks, Katie and Taylor. It definitely was a nice long weekend for men's basketball, as it might have been the perfect time for their bye. We'll get to head coach Fran McCaffrey later. Instead of the men, though, we start with the women, who brought some energy inside Carver Hawkeye Arena this weekend. After a huge win over Purdue on Thursday, it was back to the court on Sunday against Indiana. Sports reporter Katie Reber and Katie Sextro were courtside as they witnessed Iowa take down Indiana right on their home court.
Sunday's Big Ten battle started off rough for the Hawkeyes, but they were able to take control with their driving offense and dominant defense.
For a really tough start to this game, I think we played one of the best second quarters maybe of the year. I thought our second quarter was outstanding, and we needed every bit of that because obviously Indiana fought back in that game.
Iowa's defense played zone to hold Indiana's hot free throw shooters to just 7 shots at the line.
Played a lot of zone, but 7 free throws was really key. We wanted to keep keep them off the free throw line. We felt like, they're so good at getting to the free throw line, so making sure we keep them off the free throw line was important.
Iowa's offense kept their foot on the pedal as 5 players were in double figures.
5 people in double figures. I love the balance of our team with that.
The dynamic duo of Megan Gustafson and Chase Coley gave Indiana a challenge that opened up the floor for the Hawks.
I think it's really hard for teams to have 2 post defenders. So it just gives us, I think, an advantage that we can, be able to post either one of them up, but also it helps us in the rebounds a little bit.
It's always harder to worry about 2 big girls down low rather than 1. So it's nice having Megan out there. We take a little pressure off each other, I feel like.
The Hawkeyes led the Hoosiers by 15 at halftime, but Indiana came back to make it a tight game. Iowa's veterans led their team to the W, doing what they do best. Katie Sextro has more.
Thanks, Katie. Allie Disterhoff and Tanaya Davis led the Hawks to their close win over Indiana Sunday afternoon with 36 points between the 2 of them. The ladies helped their team pull off this victory with strong performances both offensively and defensively. After a slow start, Disterhoff and Davis got the Hawks going right when they needed it in the second quarter. Both continued to shoot well throughout the second half, and thanks to 2 free throws by Disterhoff in the last 15 seconds of the game, the Hawks came away with a 3-point victory.
I thought Tanaya just did a great job of leading us today. I thought her game was exceptional, and she made some key baskets for us, and clock's going down. Allie got us going early with 2 threes, too. That was nice to see.
Davis came away with 17 points on Sunday, but felt that she could have done better in one particular area.
I wasn't as aggressive as I should have been, especially since they were playing off of me and doubling the posts and other guards like Allie a little bit. So just looking for my shots and looking to create and get Allie open and get Allie touches and get the post touches, just my aggressiveness.
Disterhoff has scored double figures in every game this season and came away with 19 points and 8 rebounds. And after this game, she is confident about the remaining games in the season.
To be able to withstand a couple of runs in these past 2 games and still be able to close them out and get the wins has been huge for us. But I think we're making steps forward each game, and that's what we're looking to do.
This gives Iowa its 28th straight win over Indiana at home. Reporting from Carver Hawkeye Arena for Katie Reber, I'm Katie Sextro, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
One player not mentioned who has been absolutely outstanding these last 2 months is Megan Gustafson. The freshman earned Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors, something head coach Lisa Bluter is very happy about.
I'm really happy for her. She's worked so hard ever since she's arrived on campus, but I think she's been so productive in the last, 9 games that she's been in the starting lineup. So very happy for her.
Gustafson is averaging a double-double in the last 3 contests with 14 points and 10.7 rebounds per game. After a tough loss on the road at Penn State last week, Iowa men's basketball starts the road to the end of their Big Ten regular season. With 4 games left, it all starts on Wednesday against Wisconsin right here inside Carver Hawkeye Arena in Iowa City. But this weekend was a time for the team to step back and get better.
It was not one area where I felt like we were deficient. It's, you want to go back and work on everything that you do and try to get better in every one of those areas. That's what we try to do.
On Wednesday's basketball show, we will preview the 17-10 Wisconsin Badgers, as well as look at the Iowa Hawkeyes, who ask what they have to do in these next 4 games in order to push through the Big Ten tournament and quickly turn around to the NCAA tournament. Katie and Taylor, that's it here in the sports studio. Back to you.
One country music star just added another stop to his worldwide tour. The Iowa State Fair announced Monday country music artist Brett Eldredge will take the stage on August 18th.
Eldredge put out his second album titled Illinois in September of 2015.
Tickets are expected to range anywhere from $30 to $50. The State Fair will begin ticket sales through Ticketmaster on Saturday, March 5th at 10 a.m.
Definitely going to have to buy some of those tickets. But that's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Katie Reber.
And I'm Taylor Brooks. Have a great night, Iowa City.
You can download the Daily Iowan mobile app on your iPhone for the area's best news coverage.